Hello, and it's day 3 of the 3-part mini-series on how to get more bookings in 2018 and stop worrying about it. And today I'm going to talk about communicating with both new people and your past guests as well. So following on from yesterday when we talked about social media, we're still on the lines of communication, and communication really is key to maintaining your bookings and keeping obviously in contact with people who have stayed with you before, so that they remember you and that they keep recommending you to their friends and family as well. So how many have you, or do you have a newsletter that you send out on a regular basis, or do you have an email list? Do you keep a list of your emails that come in via your bookings? It's so important to keep in contact, as I said before, with past guests, to keep you in their minds. We all have these lovely reviews that are written where they say you had the most fantastic time and can't wait to come back and we'll definitely be back, and then you don't hear from them again. And one of those reasons is basically we all know how busy we are and life just gets in the way and things are put to the back of people's minds. So by keeping in contact and just sending a regular contact, but not too often, we don't want to bombard people, it just keeps us in their minds. So these are the people that we really need to focus on, and it's also great if they've booked with you previously through a third-party site, for example, that you can then start up the lines of communication and you can tell them all about the merits of direct bookings, for example. So basically, at the moment, if you have an email list and you can prove that there is a past purchase history, so basically they've stayed with you, then you are within your rights and within the law, if you like, to add them to a database. Now, it's good practice to reconfirm with them that they're still happy to be part of the communication. So send them an email before you actually subscribe them to a database and just explain what you're doing and why you want to do it, and also tell them that they always have the option to unsubscribe, because that's really important. People don't like to feel like they've got tied into something and that's it forevermore. So that's how it is at the moment. Next May, some new laws are coming in about opt-ins, so I'll keep you updated with that. But at the moment, don't worry about that, and just get your email addresses put onto a database. So how do we do this? Well, the only way really to do it is to use a email management system such as MailChimp. MailChimp is probably the most well known. It's extremely easy to use, it's very effective, and I can recommend it. I've used it with a lot of businesses that I've run before. So, and I use it with my cottage as well to send out my newsletters. The best thing about it is that it's free, and they offer some really good tutorials as to how to get it set up. So that's first things first. Then sign up to MailChimp and get yourself an account, and then set up your account, obviously. And once you've done that, I recommend that you add a sign up form on any web presence that you have. So any social media, your Facebook page, your website, put a sign up box for them to sign up to a newsletter, and then it will automatically be linked with MailChimp, or if you want to use a different one, then one other email management system, whichever one you decide. And a really good tip is to give them something free in exchange for their precious email. And an example might be just a short A4 sheet of paper, maybe saying, I don't know, if you're dog friendly or kid friendly, then how about the top 10 places to take your children on a rainy day in Cornwall or West Sussex or Scotland or Wales or wherever you are, or France or Spain, wherever. But I don't think you get rain in Spain, do you? Much. It just falls mainly on the plain. Anyway, so yes, to put together a nice little free information, easy to read, easy to digest. You can put some links there as well, and produce a PDF which you can then attach to your MailChimp account, so when they sign up with their email address, MailChimp will automatically send that out to them. Okay, so as I said, MailChimp have some really, really good tutorials. But I've got a little plan for the new year to put together a simple, I'll make it as simple as I can, step-by-step course to help you set up and get going with MailChimp. Also going to do the same with Facebook as well. So do let me know if you think that's a good idea or something that might be of interest to you. I will be letting you know about that early on in the new year. So make sure you're signed up to the Holiday Booking Success email list, and I will keep you informed. So all 3 videos from this week will be published on my blog as a written transcript, and there are also going to be some links in that blog post to some other free stuff as well. So I'll let you know when I've published the blog. Okay, so really that's that for the 3 days. And just to recap, let's just go back to day 1, which was Tuesday, and I was talking there about the importance of investing in your place, in your properties, and make sure that it is in tip-top condition. And this really needs to be looked at least once a year. It's so important, and as I said, the only way you can really do it is to stay there first and see your place through your guest's eyes. And then you will, you know, by using things, by trying out the beds, by sitting in front of the TV, you will know how comfortable it is, how easy things are to use, what might not be working, all of those sorts of things. And then block out a certain amount of time in your low season to get some repairs done, maintenance done, maybe repainting, refurbishing. And the great thing about doing all of that, yes, it costs money. Well, there's 2 good things actually. One is that you can reinvest in your property, and therefore you can avoid showing any profit, and that means you won't have to pay any tax. That's the UK. I don't know how that applies in other parts of the world. Also, you will be able to tell your guests all about these lovely new things that you're doing with your place, and show and add photographs and what have you, and that's good newsletter content. And as I mentioned in day 1, people do love to try new things out, so you know, let them be the first people to sleep in the new bed, things like that. Day 2, we talked about ramping up our social media interaction and all of that sort of stuff. Facebook's a great platform to tell the world about you and your property. What else did we say? So basically social media is about building connections. We know that it's not about advertising constantly. Yes, we can throw some adverts in there, but it's more about networking. So it's networking with past, present and future guests, plus properties and places and tourist attractions and other business owners in your area. So keep going with your social media, keep plugging away at it, and once you get your automation up and running, once you can start rescheduling your posts, then it's going to be a lot easier and a lot less time consuming. And day 3 today is, as I say, your chance to communicate and keep in touch with the people that matter. And it's so important. I know people have said to me in the past that people don't want to come back, but people do want to come back. I don't know if you remember the survey that we did earlier on in the year. I think it was something, I can't remember the percentage, but it was a high percentage of people book a property because they've been there before. If they don't want to come back, then it's maybe that something wasn't quite right. Generally, people, it's human nature. If they find somewhere that they love, in a place that they love, why go anywhere else? And that's, you know, get it right and people will come back. So it's really important to keep creating those connections and building on those relationships with your past guests, but also creating that know, like and trust with new people. And you can do that, the best way to do that is directly via email. Social media is great doing that too, but you never quite know with Facebook or any of the other platforms what might happen and whether they might just decide to get rid of you. And that has happened. I don't want to frighten you. It doesn't happen very often, but it can happen. So the only real way to make sure that you've got those connections and those contacts is to keep an email database. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed these 3 videos. I know there's a lot of information, but if you can just focus on these 3 areas now, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere and we're heading into our low season, when you've hopefully got a little bit more time, then you can get your automated systems up and running, and you will find that, you know, you will have more time while things are going on in the background, rather than you chasing your tail all the time, which has happened, can happen. I've been there. I know exactly, you know, what it's like when you're just trying to keep on top of things all the time. So taking advantage of the social media management tools, the rescheduling, taking advantage of things like MailChimp, who can collect your email addresses and build your database for you and help you create newsletters and send out lovely emails. You know, that will save you time, and the best thing about that is that it will, you know, it's a great benefit. So everyone's a winner at the end of the day. Okay, so please feel free to comment at the bottom of this video. I always love to hear from you. Ask any questions, give me any feedback. Let me know if you'd be interested in a Facebook or MailChimp course, and yeah, just keep in touch, and that's it. So bye for now.